Lost in a blur of weather hype? I can help by bringing weather down to size and by putting the proper spin on it.
And occasionally, it's our backyard plants that cause us to worry. You see, some of us cheat by trying to grow citrus in our backyard in places like Houston to New Orleans to Charleston, places that are a little further north than their normal range. And some years we just get bumper crops of oranges, satsumas, grapefruit, and some weird things that you've never heard of before. But what do? How do we protect them when we do get that freeze? The answer depends a lot on the weather. Hi, I'm meteorologist David Gilhausen, and I'm going to give you some tips on protecting your backyard citrus. First, how cold is it going to get? I never protect my citrus unless it's going to get below 28 degrees. That way, it's not going to be below freezing for more than about 6 hours, which shouldn't do much damage if you pick the right varieties of citrus, and we're going to talk about that later. Have you ever seen growers leave sprinklers on all night and coat the citrus with ice? Now that idea seems really warped, but it works because the physics says then when liquid water freezes, it releases heat. But the physics doesn't work if it's dry and windy. Why is that? Because the mist evaporates before it reaches the leaves and the trees. And that leads to cooling, and that's what you don't want to see happen. Only consider doing this on clear, calm nights where the temperatures and the dew point are going to drop into the 20s. The dew point is a measure of the moisture in the air, so you want it fairly moist for that temperature. But there's practical considerations as well. One time I turned on a backyard sprinkler, left it all night, and it created my own ice storm in the backyard. Not only did it take out some of the leaves of the citrus, some of the limbs of the citrus I was trying to protect, it almost took down a fence row and absolutely annihilated a neighbor's azalea. Don't do that. So use micro sprinklers instead, or sprinkle intermittently through the night. Just make sure that you keep your hose warm so it doesn't freeze. But hey, what about those times when it's windy and it's dry and you can't do that? That's when you need to use frost-protected cloth. You can buy a number of these at your big box stores. Don't use plastic. Plastic doesn't have much insulation. Also consider applying heat. Things like 100-watt light bulbs, heat lamps, or even Christmas tree lights. But warning, you could use a lot of energy doing this. Unless it's rained a lot the day before, consider watering your plant, the morning before the freeze. Water in the cell walls acts as an insulation, which helps, but also water in the soil helps to protect the roots. Just do it when it's 40 degrees, or else you could wind up looking like Nanook of the North out there. Then, if it's an early season freeze and you still have fruit on the tree, pick the fruit if it's going to get 25 or below, or not only are you going to save the fruit, there's also some evidence that that helps to save the tree. Something to do with moving sugars around. I'm not a plant biologist. If you're just starting out in citrus, pick cold hardy varieties from a reputable local nursery that'll know what can grow and thrive in your areas. For example, pick a Meyer lemon instead of a key lime. Even though I know we all love key lime pies, hey, it grows in the Keys in South Florida. It won't grow up in these marginal areas. Pick a Satsuma orange instead of a navel orange. And the kumquats and the loquats would do fine up here anyway. Finally, go out and buy yourself a good backyard thermometer. Why? Because the temperatures that you're going to experience in your backyard could be a lot different than what the Weather Service says or your nearest automatic weather station. And you want to know your microclimate so you can know the type of citrus that you can grow in your yard. And you can also know how to adjust the forecast for the next time it freezes. Thank you. We'll see you next time.